The problem here is 120 divided by 4. So we want to know how many times does 4 go into 120. Well, that means we have 4 groups. How much will we need to put inside of each group to break up 120 evenly? We could do repeated subtraction. 120 minus 4 over and over and over and over and over again until we get our answer. Or we could use the partial quotients method. The problem we have here is 120 divided by 4, which would be the same as writing 120 divided by 4. Before we start this division problem, let's first think through our multiplication facts for 4. So we know that 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4, 16. 4 times 5 is 20. And then we'll see with 4 times 10, 40. And 4 times 20 would be the same as 4 times 2 equals 8. And then add the 0. So we have 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and 20. Okay, the way we're going to solve this is using partial quotients. Using partial quotients, we're going to start by drawing a box at the top like we would for the box method in multiplication. Now let's look at our numbers down here with our multiplication. What group can we take out to take the most out of 120? If we start with 4 times 20, we can take out 80, which would be 20 groups of 4. So I'm going to come up here and write 20, because this box is signifying the groups of 4, because we're dividing by 4. Okay, so let's start with 20. 20 times 4, we already know, is 80. So let's take away 80. 0 minus 0 is 0. 2 minus 8, I can't do it. I have to borrow from my neighbor. The 1 becomes a 0. The 2 becomes a 12 because I took 10 from the 1. 12 minus 8 is 4. Now we're left with 40. Well, we can look at our multiplication facts and see that 4 times 10 is 40. So we can take out another group, or 10 groups of 4. 10 times 4 is 40. 40 minus 40 equals 0. So now we're left with nothing. We've taken out all the groups that we can. So up here, we need to add our numbers together to get our answer. 20 plus 10 equals 30. That means that 4 goes into 120 30 times. Let's check. The opposite of division is multiplication. 30 times 4. 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 3, 12. 30 times 4 equals 120. 120 divided by 4 equals 30. We know our answer is correct. So the problem we want to solve here is 185 divided by 5, or how many groups of 5 go into 185? Well, before we start, let's go ahead and review some of our 5 multiplication facts. We know that 5 times 1 equals 5. 5 times 2 equals 10. 5 times 3 equals 15. Times 4, 20. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 6 equals 30. 5 times 7 equals 35. We'll do 5 times 10, 50. 5 times 20, 100. And then we'll do 5 times 100 equals 500. Okay, so first we're going to start and we're going to draw a box here, kind of like the box method for multiplication. Well, what's the largest number we can start with to take out a certain number of groups of 5? Well, we know that we can see here that 5 times 20 is 100. We could take out 100 by taking out 20 groups of 5. So I'm going to write 20 here. 5 times 20 equals 100. So let's take 100 from 185. This 100 is the same thing as taking out 20 groups of 5. So 5 minus 0 is 5. 8 minus 0 is 8. 1 minus 1 is 0. Now we're left with 85. What's the next largest number we can take out? Well, we can see here that 5 times 10 is 50. So we can take out 10 groups of 5. 10 times 5 is 50. 5 minus 0 is 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. Now we have 35 left. Well, we can look at our facts and we see that 5 times 7 equals 35. So we can take out 7 groups of 5. 7 times 5 is 35. 5 minus 5 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. We're left with 0. So how many groups of 5 do we have to take out? We took out 20, 10, and 7. Let's add those together. 0 plus 0 plus 7 is 7. 2 plus 1 is 3. This says that 5 goes into 185 37 times. Let's check our work. Well, we know 5 times 7 is 35, so we'll put the 5, carry the 3. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18. Put our 18, and we get 185. So we know 185 divided by 5 equals 37. 5 times 37 equals 185. 37 times 5 equals 185. Now we have our fact family to check our work.